All right, guys, college football playoff prediction video 2024. And just a quick reminder on the format this year. So it's the 12-team playoff. Those top four spots are reserved for the conference champions out of the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and ACC. And then the next 7 spots are at-large spots. So any team from any conference can make these spots. And the final spot, the 12th team, is reserved for the highest-ranked Group of 5 football team. So I'm going to go through it here, give my prediction. Guys, I'm a college football wizard. I ran the data, I ran the numbers, crunched the numbers last night, did my model, and I have the perfect prediction here laid out in bracket format. I'm going to start here with the number 12 seed in the playoff, the Group of 5, highest ranked Group of 5 champion. It is the Texas State Bobcats. Now, this one's kind of surprising. You don't see Texas State very often. Guys, know the name Jordan McLeod. He was the Sun Belt Player of the Year last year from James Madison, the quarterback, transferring to Texas State. He will lead them to a 12-win season in the Sun Belt in their first ever playoff appearance as the number 12 seed. How about going over here to the bottom right, the 11th spot, the Utah Utes. Trust Kyle Whittingham and Cam Rising returning this year, and finally Utah breaks through and makes the playoff out of the Big 12. Now, they're going to be an at-large team, so I see them making the Big 12 championship, but losing in that game and sliding in just barely in the number 11 spot. Going to the top right here, the number 9 seed, the Florida State Seminoles. Now, we remember the 13-0 season last year, missing the playoff and getting trounced by Georgia in that sham bowl game. Now, I see them making the ACC championship game and then losing to a team you'll see later in the video. But I trust Coach Norvell to get them to the playoff for the first time in like over 10 years. And over here in the top left, LSU Tigers. So Brian Kelly reloading after the Heisman season with Daniels, and they'll make the playoff with probably 9 or 10 wins in the SEC. A loaded schedule this year for the Tigers. And guess who they'll play? The number 8 seed, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So we'll get a return game with Coach Brian Kelly going back to South Bend in that first round of the playoff. It's going to be an on-campus game for Notre Dame. That's going to be an electric atmosphere, probably on ESPN or ABC, a primetime game on that like first Saturday of the playoff. It's going to be such a good game, such great ratings there. So let's go over here to the number 7 seed. It's the Texas Longhorns getting back to the playoff just like they did last year with Quinn Ewers. They're not going to be the best team in the SEC, but they're going to be competitive this year and definitely making the playoff, probably beating Florida State in that first round game, honestly. Going down here to the number 6 seed, it's the Oregon Ducks out of the Big 10. Now we have Dylan Gabriel transferring to Oregon this year, a Heisman contender, and they have a loaded schedule in the Big 10 this year, but I think that'll help them in the long run with their FPI and ratings and everything. They'll probably lose 3 games in the Big 10, but make the playoff as a pretty high 6 seed. And let's go down here to the bottom left. Who will play Texas State in that first round game? Guys, it's going to be Alabama. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? There's no way Alabama comes back from losing Coach Saban. It's still a very talented squad, honestly. You know, people want to say Ole Miss, Tennessee, whatever. I still see Alabama as a top 3 team in the SEC. They'll probably win 10 games in the regular season and make the playoff as the 5 seed hosting the Texas State Bobcats. They're going to be like 24-point favorites in that first round game. It's going to be nuts. All right, now down to the top 4 teams. These teams getting a first round bye in the playoff. And here in the bottom left, they're going to play the winner of Alabama and Texas State. And it's going to be the ACC champion, the Clemson Tigers, getting back to the playoff. Dabo Swinney. I know there's this whole drama about him not going to the transfer portal, but they're going to be good enough this year, a good enough defense in the ACC to win the championship game there and probably get 10 or 11 wins and be the representative out of the ACC getting the first round bye in the playoff. That's wild. And then going here to the bottom right, the number 3 seed in the playoff. Would you believe it? The Kansas Jayhawks. Yes, my model predicts the Kansas Jayhawks to win the Big 12 title this year. Now we have Jalen Daniels over there in Kansas, a electric offense and a much improved defense this year as well. They're going to win 10, maybe 11 games, including that conference championship game in the Big 12, and make the playoff as a 3 seed. Kansas Jayhawks football will be a 3 seed in playing a Oregon versus Utah winner. How about up here in the top right? Yes, the Georgia Bulldogs, obviously the SEC champion, probably the most talented team overall in college football, and they'll be back in the playoff once again as the number 2 seed this year. Just a loaded team, but there's one team that's even stronger than Georgia this year, and yes, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes. This team is ridiculous. Trust Brian Kelly this year to take this offense to a new level with Will Howard and their defense is honestly a joke. They will give up less than 10 points a game this year defensively. It's going to be one of the most loaded rosters in college football history. The Ohio State Buckeyes probably going undefeated, 13-0 into the playoff, and big favorites to win the Big Ten as well as the championship overall this year. So guys, that's my final bracket for the playoff this year. It's really kind of weird. You have Ohio State and like Kansas and getting first round byes. You have Texas State in there. It's going to be such a fun vibe this fall following the 12-team bracket. Such a new era in football, really. So guys, thanks for watching this little video here. If you disagree, put in the comments below. And as always, follow my Instagram. It's tagged below in the description. And have a great day.